I'm gonna keep it filthy.
Okay.
I'm with all the smoke when it comes to the champions. Each and every single one of them. I don't care who it is. Like each and every one. Like I want all the champions. I want all the belts. I want everybody. But I see that in a way he's doing his undisputed fight coming up, and I hear if he wins, he's gonna come to 126. I would love to see him. I would love to fight in a way. I would love to expose him. Like I'm really.
Can we say him? Who is him? For the fan, and for the people who don't know.
Inoue. Naoya Inoue. That's his name. That's that man right there. I'm a type of guy I like to test myself. You know what I'm saying? I like to, want to be in a ring with the ones that's so called the best to prove that I'm the best. And I honestly feel like he's one of those guys. And also all of the champions that's in my weight class as well too. All of those guys that are so called the best. I want to test them and see how good they really are, because I know what I bring to the table, and I know my ability, and I have confidence in what I could do for real. So that's just the energy that I'm coming with all of them.
He didn't want to box. He wanted to actually prove that he could punch with you. He was like, what the fuck is this nigga? Right? Oh, okay. You want to go to sleep? You tired?
Welcome to BodyWork. Welcome back. It's Michael Rogers. Welcome to BodyWorkBoxing. You were listening to the words of one Bruce Shu-Shu Carrington. Man, I really enjoy that young man. I really like watching him box ever since I became aware of him. You know what I'm saying? He's one of them ones where you can actually see that he is special. He's basically a rising prospect right now. I think he's right on the door for contention, but in the interview, this was a Fight Hype interview. All credit to Fight Hype, who actually, sat down with Bruce when he actually gave this hot take, basically saying that he would expose Inoue. Now he's at featherweight. Right now, Inoue is still at 122. He has a bout in December where he's going to go ahead and attempt to become double undisputed in a little over just a year's time frame. Back to back. That's why he's like arguably number one, number two on the pound for pound list. I think they got Bud above him, and at this point, rightfully so. But a lot of people, man, a lot of people are high on Inoue. And I always find it interesting because sometimes the outlets and what they put out is kind of, depending on what day it is, you can kind of rely on that. But when you hear it from the boxer and their peers, Inoue's name is a very popular name, man. For this man not to be respected the way he should be, he's in his 5th division, already undisputed, getting ready to be double undisputed, moved up, knocked somebody off in Stephen Fulton that was on a lot of people's pound for pound list, stopped him. You know what I'm saying? And the language and the jargon that Stephen Fulton was saying prior to the Inoue fight was that, I'm gonna expose him, he's a hype job, and I'm just like, this is kind of like a pattern that I see going on, and then maybe this is some new era things, because, promoters like Bob was saying, hey, these boxers got to promote themselves. So a lot of the times, man, you can't really get caught up in what they're saying. You really got to look at their actions and what they're doing in their actions in an attempt to actually get somewhere or validate a claim that they make. I think it would be a tall task for Inoue to even entertain a conversation with Bruce Carrington, but in due time, I see how it can be very possible. Now, let me break down something that was said in this interview. Right? He said, basically, that's how I feel, and that's the kind of energy I'm gonna keep towards all of these guys, all of these champions. You know what I'm saying? And then he said, but Inoue is a name that sticks out. I would love to expose him. And the guy was like, who's him? He was like, Naoya Inoue. That's his name. I would love to actually show, basically elaborate on it. And the way I broke it down, was two things. One, Inoue is that guy. You know what I'm saying? I heard Shakur Stevenson basically say he would love to fight Inoue. I think ultimately if he ever moved up and ever got up there to where Tank is, because you got to think, he's already in his 5th weight class. If you go to 126, that'll be his 6th weight class. If you go to 130, that'll be his 7th weight class. If you go to 135, that'll be his 8th weight class. So I'm like, at what point You know what I'm saying? When a boxer says he's comfortable, at what class is he going to stop? Because he's always fighting the best competition. He's a legacy-oriented fighter, but he's positioned himself because of his performance in the ring, how his name ring bells across the globe, to actually present an opportunity for fighters to get their best payday. I believe Stephen Fulton got his best payday, you know, going over there to fight Inoue. Marlon Tapales is scheduled to get his big payday. Got a video about him later on. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm going to try to do this one with me and my old head. You know, he's the ferocious Naoya Inoue supporter. But one, yes, Inoue is a name. He has the skills to pay the bills. I think he's blazing a track record. You know, he's blazing a path that's going to be very hard to duplicate. I think he's doing the Manny Pacquiao better than the Manny Pacquiao. And I used to be a huge Manny Pacquiao fan. You know what I'm saying? I used to be a while ago. You know what I'm saying? But one, yes, Inoue is the man. Two, there was a lot of vagueness in the other champions, champ. You know what I'm saying? So I would say Bruce, man. I would say conventional wisdom would say, instead of just saying these other champions, something more realistic, because I did, you know, go back and check out the interview. Very good interview. Very good questions. You know what I'm saying? The interview had a lot of flavor. I think it was like Halloween or something, because Bruce was, you know, dressed up like Shaggy and all that. But go check out the interview. But I believe that you should have been more specific with the names that you were saying as far as champion. You said all these other guys. And what would be more realistically, because in the interview you said that next year in 2024, that's when you think your shot at a title is going to come about. And I think that's probably the only way that you can probably get a shot with Inoue. Because yes, like you said in the interview, he does plan on trying to get undisputed. That date is set. And if he, you know, if he completes his mission objective, which I don't have any reason to believe right now, even though I'm still analyzing that fight, he's going to move up to 126. There's been ties with some bigger names. It used to be Neary. I heard of Kagai at one point in time. It was supposed to be MJ, but Tapales messed that up. But it's a guy named Robeisy Ramirez. There's a guy named Robeisy Ramirez who is putting on he's really making a demonstration. He fought on the undercard. And Robeisy has the WBO. So that's a fight that's been in there, you know, since he was on the undercard. There's some build-up. There were some questions asked. And I think that Top Rank knows that them two guys, that would be a high-octane chess match. But Robeisy, he has a belt. Ray Vargas, I believe Ray Vargas, he got what, the WBC? According to my notes, WBC. Ray Vargas got the WBC. The WBA says it's vacant, but it's this one name that keeps popping up in all these categories. Another guy that's in my Boxers to Watch collection, Raymond Savage Ford. I call him the Cobra. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting to see him fight. I've been following him for a distance. You know, I try to chime in, give him support, like verbally through whatever post, because he got talent. He got some skills to pay the bills. He up there from New Jersey, East Coast brother. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like show support for a lot of these guys that's getting the opportunity, but he's in my Boxers to Watch. He's in a lot of these different, he's number 2 right now in those categories. I think he's falling in number 8, number 2, and all these sanctioning bodies. And I think that this man is barking on the tree of title contention. On the IBF, you got Luis Lopez, right? But I would say I would have been more specific about some of the names of the champions. So in order to get an Inoue, you would have to go see a Ray Vargas. You can go see Ray Ford, because I'm thinking he's getting ready to get a title. You can go see that guy Luis Lopez, or you can see Robeisy Ramirez. But there's some other names in there. You can see Stephen Fulton. What better way to actually get a fight? Get it popping with Stephen Fulton. Get it popping with Ray Ford. I think Carlos Castro, Mauricio Lara, some of these names would actually be just, you know, for me, logically thinking, I would actually be targeting some of those guys, because let's break it down. Bruce, he's been fighting for what, 2 years now. He made his debut in October of 2021. 9 fights in, 5 KOs. Very polished. When you see the young man in the ring, his skills jump out the page. I call him the specialist in my Boxers to Watch collection. You know, but with like 40-something rounds in the bag, 2 years of experience. I think it's kind of far-fetched right now to kind of call out Inoue. He's blazing on a legacy path, but guess what? You can get in that path. You can get right on that path. You got to get up there, get your title shot, and grab one of them belts so that when he do come up there, he's surveying the landscape just like Devin Haney did. And when he picked Regis, he can survey the landscape and say, you know what? This man got a belt. I'm going to go. Because you already know what he's coming. When he come up there to 126, when he finally get up there, he's coming to get a belt. He's gonna try to undispute and unify all of those belts once again. That's his MO. Big time legacy with the skills to pay the bill. So even though I'm happy to hear the young man say Inoue, nah, man, that's a fantasy fight right now because who knows what will happen, especially by the time that fight takes place. But I find it crazy how a lot of people think that they see a lot of flaws, and he's a boxer, so I gotta give a little credence to what he's saying as far as what he see. But we also seen Stephen Fortune say that, Inoue was a hype job and he was going to expose him. And we see how that wound up turning out. You know what I'm saying? So I would tell my man Bruce, who's from Brooklyn, New York, I would say salute, man. Keep doing what you do. We know that you have a high boxing IQ. We know that you got the skills to pay the bill. I would just go ahead and get on Asthma and pick out one of these guys with one of these names at 126. And if you do really want an Inoue fight, cut him off by going to go get a belt. You know what I'm saying? Right now, to try to do an analysis and try to size everything up, I think that with the confidence, taking on all these different champions, the legacy, these big fights, with all this pressure on you to do nothing but succeed and excel and moving up and your power carrying and being so polished where you got, you're accurate, you're defensive, you have combinations, you can make adjustments, good footwork, you know what I'm saying, a very high knockout percentage, you know what I'm saying, a real predator. Right now, I don't really think it's a comparison, but Shu-Shu does have the skills to pay the bills. He is a rising prospect. I think he deserves more camera time, you know what I'm saying, and I think that if you're looking for somebody to get to know Bruce Carrington. I just don't want Bruce to fall in the trap where they say a lot of boxers clout chase, you know what I'm saying, or attach themselves to names, because when certain fans have a certain fan base and you attach yourself to certain names, those beehives won't come at you. So I would just say, man, look, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Anytime soon, not sure how soon, but if you target one of these champions and you go in that ring and do what you know to do and get the job done, that would be the best way to do it. That's why I was saying Stephen Fortune, if he want to get some get back on Inoue, his best thing would be to go up to 126 and go ahead and grab a belt. You know what I'm saying? Because Inoue is going to, if he gets past Marlon Tapales, you know what I'm saying, who right now I would believe is the underdog, but he preys on the fact that a lot of people always say that he's an underdog, and he also says that he sees food in Inoue. You know what I'm saying? So I think that cutting them off, getting the belt, just working on but call out some of these local champions. You know what I'm saying? Call out a Raymond Ford, call out a Stephen Fulton, Arnold Kagai, Castro, one of these guys that actually have, either a big name or has put in or in title contention or actually have one of these belts like a Ray Vargas. I would love to see a Ray Vargas. Hell, even a Figueroa. But call out one of these local names, and when you have an opportunity to be able to make what you say count, make it count in a way to where it's something that's very logical and very feasible to be able to happen next. Like calling out one of these local champions or getting it popping with like a Robisi. That'd be more realistic because y'all right there on top rank. I know y'all rub elbows and all that, and some of this might be friendly fire, you know what I'm saying? We don't know who's friends in boxing and who's not. But I know that Shu-Shu striking me as the kind of person that it probably wouldn't even matter. Business-wise, the young man seemed like he about business. I would just use if I have my silver bullet, every time somebody put a microphone on my face, I'm going to use my silver bullet to hit a target that I know I can't miss. So call out Ray Vargas, Robisi Ramirez, Ray Ford, Stephen Fortune. All of those would be great fights, great legacy fights. I'm checking for a lot of y'all. I'm fans of a lot of y'all, you know what I'm saying? But thought that was interesting, man. Salute to Inoue. Salute to Bruce Carrington. Will we ever get that fight? You know what I'm saying? And in this new era with social media, this is how everything works. So if you can stay abreast and stay attuned of what these boxers are saying, you'll kind of know what kind of path they're on. Sound like Shu-Shu is on a legacy path. What do you think about that? You know what I'm saying? I would love your comments, your feedback. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for everybody who tune in on a regular basis, who watch all of my videos, not just some of them, but watch all of them, the lives. If you chime in and give comments or feedback, I definitely appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I don't do a lot of yes men. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to agree. And this is the alternative to opinion-based content. This is fact-based content. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks for tuning in here with BodyWorkBoxing, where we don't take things for face value. We do that body work. Welcome to BodyWork.